30 days ago, I was scrolling for 4 hours daily, chasing dopamine hits and somehow calling it productivity. My phone was an extension of my hand. My attention was shattered into 1,000 pieces. So I tried something extreme, monk mode. I deleted every app, eliminated every distraction, committed to single focus days with zero escape routes. I thought I'd gain superhuman focus, finally become that disciplined person I admired online. But what actually happened? It changed how I see success entirely. The transformation wasn't what I expected. It was uncomfortable, revealing, and honestly kind of terrifying. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what nobody tells you about monk mode and why that matters more than the productivity hacks. Let me explain what monk mode actually is. It's a philosophy of extreme elimination, cutting out distractions, committing to deep work, and isolating yourself intentionally to achieve breakthrough results. It's trending everywhere right now because we're all burned out, drowning in the attention economy and desperate for gurus who promise we can transform overnight. Before this experiment, I was the perfect candidate. Scattered focus, 5 projects going nowhere, constant context switching that felt like progress but produced nothing. You've probably seen monk mode on Instagram, aesthetic morning routines, perfect discipline, that curated intensity. That's not what I was walking into. I set strict rules. No social media, one primary goal, rigid sleep schedule, limited social interaction, daily journaling. That's it. No room for negotiation. And honestly, I had no idea what these constraints would actually reveal about me. I was about to find out. The first 3 days felt incredible. Deleting apps was empowering. My focus seemed laser sharp. I told myself, this is it. I'm finally becoming that person. But then came the crash. Day 4, I reached for my phone 17 times, muscle memory searching for something that wasn't there. The boredom hit like a wave. The silence in my apartment became unbearable. I thought removing distractions would reveal my productive self. Instead, it revealed why I was distracting myself in the first place. There was this one evening, around day 6, where I just sat there staring at my project, completely paralyzed. I wanted to take a research break, which we both know means procrastination dressed up as work. I couldn't. The urge was physical. Then the social FOMO crept in. Friends making plans I wasn't part of. Conversations happening without me. But here's what nobody talks about. Without the digital noise, I became painfully aware of the mental noise. Anxiety loops I'd been drowning out. Self-doubt I'd been scrolling past. Restlessness that had always been there, just buried under notifications. Monk mode wasn't revealing discipline. It was forcing me to confront uncomfortable truths about work avoidance, about why I clung to busyness like an identity. Around day 10, something shifted, but not in the way I expected. Here's the counterintuitive part. The breakthrough wasn't about doing more. It was about being differently. I expected superhuman productivity, finished projects, discipline mastery, the whole transformation package. What actually emerged was mental clarity, deeper self-knowledge, and a completely different definition of progress. The changes were subtle at first. My attention span stretched longer. Decision fatigue vanished because I wasn't making 100 micro choices every hour. I found genuine presence in single tasks, and this eerie calm replaced the constant urgency I'd mistaken for ambition. Here's the paradox. I accomplished less than I planned, but made more meaningful progress than I had in months. Removing volume revealed quality. 3 tasks done with complete focus beat 20 tasks done poorly while distracted. That creative project I'd been stalling on for weeks, it finally clicked around day 15 because I stayed with the discomfort long enough to break through. But let me be honest about the dark side. Isolation had real costs. I missed connections. When I re-engaged socially, I felt awkward, like I'd forgotten how to be around people. There were nights of genuine loneliness, and in the silence, a realization surfaced about my career direction. I'd been chasing someone else's definition of success, performing busyness instead of building something real. Without distraction covering it up, I couldn't ignore that anymore. That awareness, it was uncomfortable, it was also necessary. Let yourself be understimulated. Second, constraint reveals priority. Elimination forces clarity on what actually matters versus what just feels urgent. Third, digital detox exposes mental patterns. Notice what you're avoiding when you can't numb out. Fourth, productivity isn't the goal. Intentionality is. Here's a micro challenge. 1 week, one primary focus, minimal distractions. I know what you're thinking. But my work requires constant communication, or I can't just disappear. You don't have to. Try deep work blocks 3 mornings weekly, or monthly 48-hour digital detoxes. Adapt it to your life. Monk Mode is a diagnostic tool, not a permanent lifestyle. It shows you what's hiding under your habits. And here's your permission slip. You don't have to do this perfectly or extremely to gain insight. Even a diluted version will reveal something. The question is whether you're curious enough to look. Because once you see what distraction has been covering up, you can't unsee it. If you're constantly busy but rarely satisfied, this might be your sign. Try a mini version. 7 days, one primary goal, reduced digital noise. Then report back what you discover. Drop a comment with your biggest distraction, or what you'd focus on if nothing else existed for a week. I'm creating more content on deep work strategies, attention restoration, and productivity philosophy that actually works. So subscribe if that resonates. Here's what I learned. Monk Mode didn't make me superhuman. It made me human again. It gave me back my attention, my presence,